so welcome to Vegan and Training. Please subscribe and like my channel and comment and all that good stuff. Okay, so today I will be making quinoa with a chickpea curry. I was going to add shrimp, but I'm going to make it completely vegan-ish today because I am going to add some butter and whatnot because I like butter. Cooking quinoa is like cooking rice. It's pretty much the same. It's a good rice substitute. Grab a cup real quickly. Because once again, as prepared as I try to be, I'm still unprepared. Oh, by the way, this is my special guest, Ronald Love. All right. So as I said, it's like cooking rice. So you're going to measure it out just the same. I'm only going to make 1 cup because it's just for me. Boo-hoo, don't cry for me, Argentina, or wherever in the world you are. Goes into my pot. The bulk of it just adds a little bit more depth to the quinoa because the quinoa is quite thin. So for someone who likes a bit of weight to their meal, you can add this. You can find this in really not most stores, but like supermarkets, you know, those little side stores, Haitian stores, Jamaican stores, places like that. Cracked bulgur wheat, not crack, cracked bulgur wheat. So I'm going to wash this up very quickly. This is how it looks. Lord Jesus, I've got that shit everywhere. So the same way that quinoa is a rice substitute, it's cooked the same way as rice. So you will level it off with the water like you would rice. So I'm going to add some butter. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, adobo or purpose seasoning, because I'm a seasoned kind of gal. Sazon. I'm just going to put it on the stovetop and let it cook just like rice. It should take about 20 minutes and you put it on low. You put it on low and you just allow it to steam up. And sometimes I put my rice on high for it to get a little bit warm first, and then once it's hot enough, then you let the steam cook it. Got my little tea doily, and I'll put it on top of my pot and let it cook like so. Time for the chickpea curry. You could just curry meat, but as I said, I'm currying some chickpeas, and it gives it a lot of flavor too. Oh, once again, I'm prepared. No cutting board, no knife. So I prepared all my fruits and my condiments, and I forgot to prepare everything that I'm going to cook them with. Anyway, that's the rubble for it. I'll be using some tomatoes, onions, garlic, and some sweet peppers, just to make it a little bit more flavorful, a little bit more exotic, and a little bit more Indian, you know? Everybody likes a good curry, especially where I'm from. I'll start by slicing up these tomatoes very quickly. When I became, when I stopped eating meat, I missed flavor. I didn't know where or how. I didn't really cook at all before I became a vegetarian. And so when I stopped eating, it's like, what am I going to eat? Bloody fruit and vegetable all the time. And although that was the reason why I stopped eating meat, was to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet, I realized just how bloody bland they are. That's probably why I never really liked them in the first place. I'm telling you, my diet would consist of cake, meat, pizza, and pasta. And that was pretty much it, and I could live off of that all day, every day. As long as there was meat on my plate, it didn't really matter what else was there. I'll be at work or wherever, and I'll just be sitting there just munching on bacon like they was crisps or something. Chips for American people, that's what crisps are. And I saw no problem with it because I pretty much looked like this. Like, I was very slim. I didn't see the need to, you know, incorporate anything into my diet that I didn't like. And fruits and vegetables, I've always say to people, I don't eat salad, I'm not a rabbit. And I was very ignorant in that sense, not really realizing that food actually nourishes your body and your mind. So it's not necessarily, we're not necessarily eating you know, just to feed ourselves. We're eating to feed our cells, our mind, everything. Food does so much for the body. So I was missing out on a lot. And so that's another reason why I didn't go back to eating the meat, because the things that started to happen to me, like the mind clarity, I started to develop a lot of anxiety. That's why I have my good friend Ronald, who's my anxiety bear. Yeah, don't bloody ask. But yeah, I developed anxiety because the things that I was doing wasn't really agreeing with me anymore, and my body was in fight or flight mode. It was telling me like, look, we don't like this, we don't like this. But because mental health isn't very much talked about within the black community, well, not even very much, it's not talked about in the black community. You know, the narrative is starting a little bit more, but you know, 2-3 years ago and prior to that, nobody was talking about that. And if you was going through something, what would you do? Smoke your joint and keep it quiet. Nobody talked about anything. And so when I started to develop anxiety, I had no idea, because as far as I knew, all anxiety was panic attacks when you would go into large crowds. I had a friend who had anxiety, and that's what she would describe it as, and that's all I knew it to be. So I would start having things happen to me, like I would just, you know, I don't know, one of the things that I really stood out to me when I realized that something was wrong was that I couldn't leave my house. Like I would start to leave, and I would make any excuse to not go. Or if I knew I had to leave, like I was going to work or something, I would start, you know, I would walk out the door and be like, oh, and oh, and oh, and to the point where I was like, now you really have to go, and I would force myself to actually leave. It became a bit crazy, to be honest with you. And then I would be around large crowds, and I would start to get headaches, and all these different things started to happen. But the more that I became in tune with myself, and the more information that was presented to me, I started to realize, like, again, like I said, that was my body and my mind telling me, like, son, this ain't for you, fam. Like, you need to move from these people. You need to stop doing these things. I would be on my way to work, and I love money, like most people do. I love to make money. I liked my job. But I would be on my way to work, and I would just be bursting into tears. And I would be like, and I didn't know what was wrong. It was so weird, but the subconscious knows all. And our conscious mind is so loyal to us, it will protect us in any way. So anything that, you know, anything that is not right, or anything that's not going to enable you to function for that moment, the conscious mind will block it out or whatever, but the subconscious holds everything. So my anxieties and my fears were coming from deep within, but because I wasn't very well educated on those things, or even myself at the time, I didn't know what it was. And I was just like, wow. But the more time I began to take to myself, and I began to meditate, and I began to, you know, extricate myself from situations where I realized, like, well, why am I having a headache? And as soon as I walk outside, the headache goes away. At first I thought it was maybe it's because I needed fresh air. But again, meditation and your intuition will tell you everything you need to know once you begin to listen. And that's only if you listen, because we'll put it down to anything. You can put it down to a bad day, but we're more inclined to listen to other people than trust our own instincts. And that's kind of what happened to me. I kept putting myself in all these situations that I thought were so good, like, oh yeah, this is going to be really good for my career, and and I'll be around these people who were just, no comment, because some of them are probably watching right now. But yeah, just a lot of situations were not right for me that I thought would be, because my conscious mind is telling me, go get that bag, as it does, because the conscious mind has to survive. But the subconscious was like, you're always going to get the bag, fam, but not like this. Like, the bag you want is not going to come this way. And I have to put that really honestly all started when I changed my diet. Because after after I changed my diet, I started meditating more. Not because I just thought to myself, hey, I'm going to meditate, but the universe works in mysterious ways. Right after I stopped eating meat, I was introduced to this lady, and she was a business. She said she was supposed to help me. No, somebody introduced me to her and said that she could help me with my business. Once I got to her, I realized she was a bit spiritual, and she looked at me and she was like, look, you need to go meditate, come back to me in 7 days, and I'll talk with you. And I was like, sis, I just drove all the way to Opa fucking Locker to come talk to you, and you're gonna tell me to go home and come back in 7 days? What type of is this? But I was like, I'm not gonna be rude. So I went home, and I wasn't really big on meditation, especially not guided meditations or anything like that, because I always thought to myself, you're listening to these things and you don't know what they're programming into your mind. Because I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Josie and the Pussycats, where they're playing the music, but the music is like there's subliminal messages in the music. So I've never been big on guided meditations. So I went home and I learned how to basically just go outside for a few minutes and just breathe. So I'll do that every morning, and lo and behold, I came back, and that week went very well for me, and I felt so peaceful and I felt really good. And when I got back to her, she's like, you meditated, didn't you? And I was like, I sure did, lady.
Come tell me, say, honey.
And she was like, you need to meditate. Like, you have to. Like, some people just should do it once in a while or whatever, but you personally need to do it every day. And even though she told me that, it took me and even though I knew it was true, it took me a very long time to realize like that that's something that has to be in my routine on a daily basis. Even now, some days I forget to wake up and know that it's a need. Like, you need to eat breakfast and you need to breathe. So I'm still working on that part, but most days, majority of the days, even if I forget to do it in the morning, it will definitely be me having to take some time out for myself for a few minutes a day and just center myself and have some real conversation with what's going on in my mind, or paying attention to what's going on in my mind, to be like, is this what we really want to do? Is this where we really want to go? How are you feeling right now? Because I'm very much a go type person. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I had no time for no feelings. I had no time for none of that. I didn't have time for anything. I wanted to go get that bag. That's how I made it to America. And it was just like, who's got time to sit there and boo-hoo and ponder things? But I don't know if it's about being at this age. I think it's just life in general. If you don't take the time out for you to figure out what's best for you, rather than just going with the flow and what everybody else is doing, things are eventually going to crack and crumble. Some people are blessed enough to be able to go through their day and analyze those things as they go. I moved too quickly. I really didn't have the time. And because of how I came up, I wasn't privy to what I wanted to do. It was about what had to be done. I grew up in a Caribbean household. It was nothing about what I wanted to do. It was about what needed to be done. As I'm sure some of you can relate to. Alrighty. Onions, tomatoes, peppers all cut up. Missing mushrooms, but it's all good. Alright, I'm going to wait for my quinoa to cook a little bit more before I actually start to cook up that, because once it's done, I'm going to smell it and I'm going to want to eat it instantly. So I'm just, now that that's prepped, I'm going to leave that there.
Come tell me, say, honey.
I'm going to wash off my chickpeas. Usually I don't use tin chickpeas, but this was a spur of the moment make, and when you're using chickpeas, you usually have to let them soak. So the ones that I have, the fresh ones that I have, I wasn't going to let them soak for the day, so I'm going to rinse off. Anytime you use anything out of the tin, if you have to, rinse it off. Obviously not like tuna or something like that, but things like peas, black-eyed peas? Whatever you want to call them, black beans. Wash them off because they put so many preservatives. They've been sitting there in the tin for a while. So I've got my chickpeas. I don't know what the hell that was. I've got my chickpeas, coconut milk, curry powder, the extra flavor one. This is, you know, regular curry powder from the shop. When they sell it in places like Walmart, it's never really as strong as when you can get the seasonings out from, you know, real authentic Indian people. Seeds, coriander, and some parsley, or you can use basil. And that's everything I'm going to be using in my mix for my chickpea curry. And we'll be right back after this break. No, I'm just kidding. It's about to be done, so we are going to get started on currying the chickpeas, baby. Turn on the stove. Put a little oil in the pan. A little bit more. I learned it last time. I hate seeing excess oil in the pan, so sometimes I'll put it in like, oh, that's too much. And I start cooking, I'm like, that dried up very quickly, and the pan is looking real dry. I'm gonna add some ginger actually to my mix of onions, tomatoes, and peppers. I'm just kind of I should have added some potatoes. However, I'm a little hungry and I don't have time for that right now. I should have actually thought about that before, but as I said earlier, this was an impromptu dish. I saw the chickpeas and I was like, I feel like some curry. And here we are right now. But I'm pretty impromptu in general, to be honest with you. How about you? Are you a planned type of person, or are you an impromptu type of person? That was another thing that came to my clarity as well, you know, getting to know who and how I am and accepting it rather than being like, I'm gonna be a planner. No, bitch, you're not a planner. You're really not. You're on the whim, fly on the go. If you want something to go, you know, obviously I'm not on the go for everything because sometimes things have to be planned, but most of the time I'm a very spontaneous type of person. I could just go with the flow, to be honest with you. And that works for me most of the time, to be real. Alright, I think my pan is looking hot. I'm going to add my mixture. I'm just going to saute this very quickly before we add the chickpeas and everything else to it. I washed my chickpeas off, so they're just sitting over there by the sink. Alrighty, let's go. Ow, bitch! I'm using my knife. Let me get my spatula. I'm always mentioning I do not cook with plastic, or at least I try not to. Wooden spatulas, wooden utensils are always best for me. When you're cooking with plastic, it tends to melt in the pot sometimes, and the toxins that are in the plastic obviously get in your food, and there's no point in eating healthy if you're going to put extra toxins in your food. Nobody wants to be yamming on plastic, you get me? Turmeric is an awesome, I'm going to say it again, awesome spice. It has a lot of properties in it, and a lot of nutrients, a lot of good things you can do with turmeric. It's also a very, very good facial mask. If you want to add some turmeric with some water, put some paste on your face, amazing. Another good thing for facial masks as well is green tea. Just make the tea after you've used a tea bag, wipe it on your face a little bit, or squeeze it out and just put, you know, your what do you call it? You know, your cotton, and put it on there. Amazing for a face mask, natural. And at least you know there's no chemicals coming out in it, and your skin just shines. You just gotta make sure you rinse it off correctly so it's not sticky, and you're good to go. I'm looking for my tin off now. Oh, it's over there. I'm just going to add my chickpeas very quickly so they can cook up a little bit. I'm going to add some butter to obviously make my chickpeas a little buttery, baby. Who remembers next? With that butter. That wasn't how the song goes, but you know what I'm singing if you're singing what I'm knowing. That didn't make sense either, but you know what I mean. Ooh, stop spitting at me! Stop spitting! another good substitute because they're very hearty, they're very meaty, they're very thick. So anytime that I was craving meat, something chickpea-ish would always be a go-to for me. And that's something else that I never thought I would ever eat before I became a non-meat eater. I didn't eat chickpeas. I didn't eat no type of beans. I didn't eat nothing. I told you what my diet consisted of. Freaking, oh, add eggs to that too. I ate eggs, meat, cake, and pasta. That's it. That's it. I was a picky eater. I didn't really see the point in eating. I didn't, food wasn't my go-to. A lot of people, when they, when they don't feel good or when they want to feel better, they'll cook or they'll eat. Food was just not on my radar for nothing at all. Okie dokie. While that is cooking up a little bit, I'm going to prepare my curry sauce. What is this bloody fork in here? So I'm just going to make my curry mix while I'm waiting for that to cook up. I put some curry into a cup. I'm going to add this coconut milk to it. Mix it up, stir it up. Waste not, want not, looking nice and thick, just the way I like it, just the way I like it. Yes, sir. And I'll add my turmeric into that also. I was just gonna say I probably should have bloody put that on a teaspoon, but I did not. But hey, it's all good. You can never have too much turmeric. It's about 2 teaspoonsful. Mix it up, stir it up. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. Pour it out in there. Alright. Waste not, want not. Get it all out. And we're in there. Got to get away from the... Let me stop. I'm not saying that. Smelling mighty curry-ish. Yes, it is, as you can see. And we're just going to let this simmer down and cook together. Oh, it smells amazing. I love the smell of curry. As you can tell, I love the smell of a lot of spices. Because I'm a spicy kind of girl. Don't mind me. I'm going to add my cumin seeds. Yeah. Don't embarrass me, seeds. Don't fail me now. What's going on with my seeds? I knew I should have got the pot. It's just so annoying. Maybe it's because my hands are wet. It's not. Boom! Shaka-laka-laka-laka-laka. Open my cumin seeds, y'all. Pow! Alright, I'm just going to sprinkle a few of these. Just adds more flavor and adds a bit of texture to the curry peas as well. You can even add these two like straight to the quinoa. Just gonna sprinkle a few on top, depending on how much texture you would like. You just choose. Boom, once again. Probably should have measured it out, but I'm not a measuring type of person. Like some people play instruments by ear, I cook by eye. Mainly because I'm not really an experienced chef. I just like to cook. Always clean up as you go. So that means there's less mess when you're done. Okay, next I'm gonna add my coriander. And some parsley. Or you can add some basil. I was going to say bay leaf, but you can add bay leaf too. You can prepare a little salad, or as I said before, add some potatoes to it, some yuca, some sweet potatoes. You can pretty much put anything else with it. You could add some shrimp to this as well. Shrimp is great with this. Some type of A white fish would be good with some chickpeas and quinoa also, but I wanted to make this a pure, I'm going to call it a pure vegetarian meal because there's no meat in it. I was going to call it a pure vegan meal, but I put butter in it. And remember, if you're a vegan, there is no animal byproducts that you should be using. So I'm going to check on the quinoa, see if the quinoa is ready to go. It was a lot more than I expected, and I said for one, it was over about 10. But this is how the quinoa should look. And we have some perfect quinoa. Let me stop. You can see I'm miming because I don't sing. Right, so first of all, I'm going to put the quinoa onto the plate. I'm going to take the chickpea curry, which I keep thinking I should just add some bloody potatoes, man. But oh well, oh well. It looks fine straight up, doesn't matter. Quinoa and chickpea curry, or curry chickpeas, whichever way you want to put it. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. My name is Rebel Soul. Thanks for tuning in to Vegan and Trending. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions of anything you'd like me to make or anything you want me to talk about in regards to holistic living, just comment below because I'll be reading all the comments. Thanks again for tuning in to Vegan and Training. Bye.
Go ahead, first waterfall splash. Double bad P, baby, talk big cash.
Girl, I come tell me she honey. Girl, I come tell